Most people think spiders only crawl, climb, or hide in places you really wish they didn't. But there's something far more shocking. Some spiders can fly, not with wings, not with muscles, not with anything that even looks aerodynamic. They use a method so strange that Charles Darwin himself watched spiders land on his ship hundreds of kilometers from land and wrote that it felt like they dropped from the sky. This ability is called ballooning, and once you understand how it works, it becomes one of the most terrifyingly effective survival tricks in nature. It starts with a spider no bigger than a rice grain, climbing to the highest point it can find. A leaf, a twig, a fence post. Then it raises its abdomen to the sky like an antenna, and without moving its legs, it releases silk, not thick web silk, but strands thinner than a human hair. So fine, they're almost invisible. And here's where the magic happens. The silk doesn't act like a parachute. It acts like a sail that catches not just wind, but electric fields in the atmosphere. Scientists recently discovered that spiders don't just drift on air currents. They actually sense and ride electrostatic forces coming from the earth and the sky. When the electric charge is right, the silk lifts, and the spider lifts with it. In an instant, something that shouldn't be able to leave the ground becomes airborne. A tiny spider can travel dozens of kilometers. Some have been recorded 3 miles up in the atmosphere, carried by invisible currents. They land in forests, on islands, in fields, even on ships in the open ocean. It's not graceful. It's not controlled. But it works, and that's all evolution cares about. But why did spiders develop this strange superpower? After every wildfire, every flood, every volcanic eruption, the first animals to arrive in the newly empty territory were ballooning spiders. They are nature's first colonizers, the pioneers of barren landscapes. While larger animals struggled to cross mountains or oceans, spiders simply floated over them. Ballooning also helps them escape danger. When food runs out or the environment becomes hostile, they don't fight it. They live. Imagine being a predator and watching your prey take off like a tiny living kite. There is no chase. They're just gone. But ballooning has a darker side, because once spiders are in the air, they can't always choose where they land. Some end up in oceans. Some freeze in the upper atmosphere. Some get burned in the sun. It's high risk, high reward. A strategy that only works because spiders produce hundreds of offspring at once. If only a few survive the journey, the species spreads. And here is the part that surprises scientists most. Ballooning spiders aren't just passive passengers. They can steer. By shifting their legs and changing which silk strands they release, they can alter their direction in tiny but meaningful ways. They're not pilots, but they're not helpless cargo either. For millions of years, this strange form of flight has allowed spiders to travel, colonize, survive disasters, and escape predators. It's not wings. It's not powered flight. It is something else. Entirely something that uses the physics of our planet in a way almost no other animal can. The next time you see a tiny spider climbing to a high point and raising its back end toward the sky, don't underestimate it. You might be watching an animal preparing for a journey across continents, riding electric fields and invisible winds to places it has never seen. A creature that can't fly, but learned how to anyway.